Good day! For this episode, we will discuss how to prepare a journal entry. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Chris An Española. You can call me Ate Chris. I'm second year college now. I'm taking BS Accountancy or Bachelor of Science in Accountancy. Our objectives for today are to analyze business transactions and to record the entry using a general journal. Before I discuss the steps on how to prepare a journal entry, let me first give you the reasons why journal entries are important. So first, since a transaction is recorded as soon as it occurs, chances are very low that you will exclude a transaction that matters to your small business. Second, accounting journal maintains the chronological approach of recording all the transactions. Therefore, it becomes easier for you to retrieve data regarding a particular transaction on a specified date. Next is not just the transactions are recorded, but also they are written in the precise explanation which tells the whole story of a financial event. Next, all the transactions are broken down according to their debit and credit nature, and then for every debit entry, we assign an equal amount of monetary value to their corresponding credit entry. This ensures mathematical accuracy in your accounting process. Next, as journal entries include all the details, it is not important to add those details in ledger again. This is really helpful to keep your ledger concise and tidy. If you find any consistencies or mistake in the ledger or trial balance, then you can go back to the journal again to correct the mistakes. This means the accounting journal also acts as a reference to your financial statements. So what is journal? It is a diary of business activities. Transactions are recorded in the journal. It aims to record the economic impact of transactions on the firm in a journal, which is a form that facilitates transfer to accounts. The journal is a chronological record of the entity's transactions. A journal entry shows all the effects of a business transactions in terms of debits and credits. This process of recording transactions is what we called journalizing. And there are also different types of journals. For example, purchase journal, sales journal, cash receipts journal, cash payment disbursement journal, purchase return journal, sales return journal, and journal proper or general journal that we will discuss later. Each journal entry includes the date, the amount of the debit and credit, the titles of the accounts being debited and credited, with the title of the credited account being indented, and also a short narrations of why the journal entry is being recorded. The standard contents of the general journal are as follows. First, the date. The year and month are not rewritten for every entry unless the year or month changes or a new page is needed. Second, account titles, explanation, or the description. The account to be debited is entered at the extreme left of the first line, while the account to be credited is entered slightly indented on the next line. Next, the PR or posting reference. This will be used when the entries are posted. That is until the amounts are transferred to the related ledger accounts. Next is the debit side. The debit amount for each account is entered in this column, and in the credit side, the credit amount for each account is entered in this column. So first, enter the account to be debited. So for example here, the cash. Next, enter the amount on the same line in the debit column, which is cash, and the debit under the debit column, which is 90,000 pesos, and enter the account to be credited, which is Josephine Barreto, capital, slightly indented, and under credit column side, it is 90,000 pesos. So, ang debit at credit dapat balance siya. So, after you record the debit side and the credit side, you need to enter a complete but concise description of the transaction. So, halimbawa dito, investment by owner. So, that is the brief explanation of the transaction in November 6, 2020. Next, whenever possible, the journal entry should refer to the source of the information. Document numbers are part of the audit trail. Recording transactions. So, nandito na tayo sa pagre-record or kung paano mag-record ng transactions. So, first, analyze the financial event. Identify the accounts affected. Anong mga accounts ang magagamit sa transaction na yon? Classify the accounts affected. Determine the amount of increase or decrease for each account affected. Next is apply the rules of debit and credit. So, ano ang normal balance ng account na magagamit na yon? Kung saan ba nag-increase or kung alin ba ang nag-increase or nag-decrease, saan ang normal balance, sa debit ba o sa credit ba, and what amount, for what amount, and which account is credited and for what amount. Number 3, make the entry in T account form. Next is record the complete entry in general journal form. That's all for this episode. Thank you for listening.